My name is Nova Ellington. All my life, I was known as the daughter no one talked about. The one who existed quietly outside the spotlight of my billionaire father's perfect world. But the night my younger brother lost the ability to walk, everything changed. The call came late in the evening while I was locking up the small community center I built from nothing. My best friend ran toward me, breathless, phone shaking in her hand. Nova, your brother had an accident. For a moment, the world went silent. I barely knew my brother. We shared blood, but not memories. Still, something pulled me forward. And before I tell you what happened next, if you enjoy powerful emotional stories about redemption, second chances, and hidden strength, make sure you subscribe now. Because stories like this prove that the quietest person often changes everything. The next morning, I stepped into my father's mansion. A place that had always felt like a museum where I was never allowed to belong. Doctors came and went. Specialists spoke in calm voices. Expensive machines filled the room. But my brother just sat there. Silent. Afraid. Broken in a way money couldn't fix. That's when I spoke. I can help him. The room went still. My father looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time. Because while they were building empires, I had been building something different. A place called Second Steps, a small center helping children with disabilities learn confidence again. No fame, no luxury, just hope. Days later, my brother rolled into that center for the first time. He clutched my hand like he was holding on to the last piece of courage he had. And slowly, something incredible happened. He smiled. For the first time since the accident. That moment changed everything. Weeks passed, and progress came in small victories. A lifted arm. A steady will turn. A tiny laugh. But the biggest change didn't happen to him. It happened to my father. One night, during a charity gala filled with cameras and flashing lights, he stepped onto the stage and did something no one expected. He called my name. In front of hundreds of people. In front of reporters. In front of the world. This, he said, placing his hand on my shoulder, is my daughter. The one who saved my son when money couldn't. The silence in that ballroom felt louder than applause. Because for the first time in my life, I wasn't invisible. But the real twist came weeks later. My father invited me into his office. Not as a guest, but as a leader. He placed a contract in front of me. Inside was funding approval worth $185 million. Dedicated to expanding my rehabilitation centers nationwide. Not as charity, not as publicity, but as trust. That was the moment I realized something powerful. The greatest victory isn't revenge. It isn't money. It's proving that the person they ignored was the one capable of changing everything. And 1 year later, standing inside the largest center we had ever built, filled with children laughing, learning, and fighting forward, I finally understood something my past never allowed me to see. Sometimes the people who overlook you become the ones who finally witness your strength.